right, Bob, I can only hope we have that kind of excitement in football tonight. From Tucson and Arizona Stadium, the WAC in the Big Ten set to square off, and two huge running backs set to do battle tonight.
They're two of the biggest, meanest tailback hombres they've ever seen west of the Rio Grande. One covers ground like the Madison Express. The other one chugs along like the Salt Lake City steamer. College football always knew this day had come. Tonight, they're fixing to have a showdown.
Showdown time for Ron Dayne and Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala. Utah and Wisconsin, it's the Copper Bowl. And happy holidays, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson, you got the Christmas tie there?
All set.
We've been waiting for a gift. I think we got one tonight when we get these two
Good
big fellas together.
Game, you bet.
And these two have been sensational. Fuamatu Ma'afala, almost a 1,000-yard season this year. And for Ron Dayne, he set the freshman rushing record, having passed Herschel Walker over 1,800 yards on the ground. There's the tail of the tape, I guess, 260 and 275. That's actually probably a little bit low considering all the banquets we've had up here.
Exactly. You know, two guys, you think they're both the same size, they're the same, but not really. Fuamatu Ma'afala kind of wiggles like that.
Yeah.
We're Dayne. Dayne.
That's
Dayne,
one syllable.
Dayne all night. And because of that, Utah's going to have to stop the Dayne train if they're going to stop Wisconsin, because they're going to get all they can handle.
How do they do
that
it?
means they're free safety. Harold Lusk is going to have to move up. An outstanding football player, usually plays a little deeper. Tonight, they're going to probably put 9 men near the line of scrimmage. The problem with that is, will the big pass play make the difference in this football game? Ron McBride said this game is about manhood. They have to show their men to stop the run.
And on the other side, Wisconsin knows that they're facing a quarterback named Fouts, who, when he's on, can be very, very dangerous. And Wisconsin has the worst pass defense in the Big Ten. They're geared up at Arizona Stadium. Wisconsin won the toss. Utah will kick. And Aaron Stecker, fourth in the Big Ten this year, back in return formation. Dan Pulsipher set to kick off for the Utes, who were 8-3 on the regular season, 6-2 in the Mountain Division of the WAC. Wisconsin at 7-5, and here they come. Stecker got across the 20, got belted at the 22-yard line. And that's where the Wisconsin offense will go to work. And it looks like this. Mike Samuel, they do not have a great passing game, the Badgers. They, quite frankly, don't need one, but he's got only 8 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. Dayne and Martin in the backfield with him. Donald Hayes, he could present a matchup problem for the small cornerbacks for Utah. Lyles and Merritt round out the receiving corps. And up front, all over 300 pounds, including Jerry Wunsch, a second-team All-American, at about 330 with Castro, Engler, Vandervelt, and McIntyre. First play of the ball game on offense for Wisconsin. Guess who? Dayne got across the 25, and he ran into the guy Gary just talked about. Harold Lusk, who will have to come up from that safety spot. Pickup of about 3. Kafusi is the biggest man on the front wall for Utah. And he'll have his hands full when they go to that jumbo set with the extra tight end to his side. Akina, Frank, and Kia on the front 4 for Utah. Robert Love's not the biggest linebacker in the country, but he's second-team All-WAC and leads his team in tackles with Hooks and Godfrey. And in the secondary, Lusk not only will have to force against the run, he's got 6 interceptions and 19 in his career. Lawson, Dart, and Richards round out the secondary for the Utes. And Dayne straight up the middle. And again, Lusk is part of the tackle as he got out to the 30-yard line. Love is on the bottom of the pile.
Harold Lusk, Brad, as we talked about, he is the guy that's going to have to make the biggest change in his football game. He talks to himself now. He'll be talking to everybody as this game goes along. He will move up a little bit in this game. He usually lines up 12 yards deep. The change-up for this game, he moves up to 9. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but the goal of this football game is to keep Ron Dayne's yardage to 7 yards or less per carry. The problem, will they hit the deep ball behind them?
So far, they've done it 3 and then 4, and now 3rd and 3 from the 30-yard line. Lyles, the tight end, in motion. They will pass, or try to. Samuel hit as he threw, intended for Hayes. That one never had a chance because Samuel got belted as he let go of the ball.
Yeah, coming from the outside that time, Utah put in more guys that they could pick up, played inside technique, and forced Samuel, the guy Utah really wants to try to beat him, because so far in this season, Mike Samuel's been able to have games when he could throw the ball within the running game, he's okay, but when he has to throw the ball, he's had problems.
John Hall, both the punter and the kicker for Wisconsin, set to kick away. Kevin Dyson and Harold Lusk, both are dangerous return men. Lusk does not like to fair catch a punt if at all possible. Only this one will be Dyson's from the 28. Got around the first man and got across the 35 to the 36. 42-yard kick and about 8 yards on the return for Dyson as Mike Fouts will bring out the running Utes offense. Juan Johnson over 700 yards himself with Ma'afala almost 1,000 and Fouts with 21 touchdown passes. His favorite receiver is the guy who just fielded that punt. 53 catches for Dyson, 8 of them touchdowns. Christophers in the tight end and Rocky Henry the other wide out. And up front, Chad Folk all whack at center. Not very tall, but extremely strong. Davis, Walker, Sims, and Sobrowski round out the front wall for Utah. First down, first play on offense for Utah. And surprise, surprise. Fouts to throw long. Man out, there's Henry. And at the last second, closing in a hurry, Bob Adamov, or that would have been a huge gain inside the 20.
Took them too long to throw the ball that time, and they had him matched up against a strong safety to Henry. That should have been a big play. There you see Henry. Adamov will not catch him. He'll never catch him. They ran 1,000 yards, he wouldn't. You can see the ball is underthrown. Fouts waited too long to throw it.
They get downfield quicker with the pass than in the BYU game. The whole game we waited for him to throw deep, and they throw deep on first down into the first play of the game here.
You think they listen to the tape?
I guess. Second down and 10. Ma'afala hit at the line, and no gain, or very little. Neil McClusick inside made the stop for Wisconsin's defense that's pretty darn good against the run. Here's the up front group. They moved Tom Burke the last 5 games to defensive end. That let them move Brian Jurowitz inside for more push. McClusick, who made the tackle. Tarek Sala led the Big Ten in sacks. Pete Monty led the whole Big Ten in tackles. Over 165 on the season. Carter and Lysick round out that core. Kevin Huntley will play both ways tonight. Started free safety. He'll play some wide receiver. Adamov just made that play early. Campbell and Suttle round out the Wisconsin secondary. On a third down and 10 now for Mike Fouts out of the shotgun. Has time, lofts it, deep out, incomplete, intended for Terrence Keehan, incomplete, and so it's 3 and out Utah.
That time, Kevin Cosgrove, defensive coordinator, played a robber defense. You can see the outside technique right here. This guy's going to try to go outside. The perfect technique because he knew he had help to the inside with a free safety. You can see that scouting right there. They knew that Utah was going to throw a lot of the corner route. A lot of people call it a China route. One guy running a smash, the other guy in the corner.
Utah on a punt.
Not a very good one.
Not at all. Off the side of his foot, not out of bounds. Over near the 40-yard line. So Hunter shanks one, and Wisconsin will have good field position when we come back. So each team has had a 3 and out. 12-16 remaining in the first quarter of the Copper Bowl from Tucson, Arizona. And Wisconsin good field position after an 18-yard punt by Chris Hunter. And the Badgers work now from their own 46-yard line. Dane gets his first 7-yard gain, Gary, but he held him right to 7. And then Robert Love made the tackle. Barry Alvarez in his 3rd bowl game and in his 7th season at Wisconsin. He's 2-0 in bowl games, having won a Rose Bowl and a Hall of Fame. And this guy basically is the bowl history. Ron McBride in his 7th year for Utah, because he's had them in 3 bowls in the last 4 years.
He has said that this year his team has played well when they've been challenged, almost backs to the wall. They lost to their interstate rival, then to BYU. Let's see if they've been embarrassed enough to play and stop this run game.
They held Dane to 6 on that last carry, but here he comes for a first down. as the freshman goes down to the 41-yard line as we check in with Adrian Karsten.
Well, Brad, as we've seen so far, as good as Wisconsin's offensive backfield may be, on defense, Wisconsin has a weakness. Their defensive backfield has given up close to 3,000 yards passing this year. So who does that put the pressure on? The guys right up front. Guys like Brian Jurewicz. Now, this guy's got a great pass rush technique. He's knocked down 9 passes at the line of scrimmage so far this year. He loves to play against short quarterbacks. Remember, Fouts is only about 5'9½". Another man to keep an eye on, linebacker Tarek Saleh. He has led the league the last 2 years in sacks, 14 this year. He's going outside. Jurewicz coming inside. Those two guys got to keep the pressure off the Wisconsin defensive secondary.
And Mike Samuel going downtown to Kevin Huntley, who we told you would play both ways. And he overshot him.
And they went to Kevin Huntley because since Tony Simmons has left this football team with that foot injury, there has been a little drop-off in speed with this team. It's closed up the defenses and made it tougher on this guy right here to hit the routes he's used to hitting.
That should give Dane now a little bit more room to work, that they loosened it up at least by going downtown on that toss. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Barry Alvarez saw his sensational freshman rumble for 339 yards in the season finale at Hawaii.
A lot of shifting up front by Utah to confuse the blocker.
Dane, I'll give Utah credit. Love met him in the hole.
I think one of the mistakes that people try to do when they're playing against Dane is tackle him too low. Even his own teammate Pete Monty said you can't tackle this guy around the ankles all the time. You got to grab him onto his hips if you can fit your arms around him, and then you hold on and hope you can get some help from someone else.
Monty said if you try to tackle him too low, he'll step on you on the way over.
That hurts. So far, Dane has not broken many tackles. I don't think he's broken one in this football game. Whether he gets 10 yards or not, if you can hold him to very few broken tackles, you'll be doing a good job.
3rd down at 6, Wisconsin. 47% on the year in their 3rd down conversions. Bootleg for Samuel. He's going to run with it. And he's got the 1st down and more. Samuel's going to score.
In this game now is the quarterback.
38 yards for a touchdown.
Everyone's eyes were right on Ron Dane. All of a sudden, here comes Samuel. I thought he came close to stepping out down at the bottom of the field.
Utah gave up on it a little bit right there.
I think they did, and when he turned up, a good block downfield on Lusk. And then he just goes in the end zone, and people who have watched Wisconsin know that's not Darrell Bevell running any longer.
That's right. John Hall for the extra point. And Wisconsin strikes with their running game, but it's number 10, not number 33. Samuel puts Wisconsin in front 7-0. Mike Samuel, who's telling Brad Childress, Coach, that is the best I can run.
He's right. The counter action, what you'll see is a lot of action here. Dane going this way, and then Cecil Martin, the fullback, gets a good spike block on the outside linebacker that time, Love, right in the corner of the screen. And you wonder from this look whether Samuel stepped out right there. The official's right here to look at it, but Fred, we've got more than one camera. And when you look at the second camera,
there's green right there.
There is green right there, and there you can't say that right here. There's green in them there. He is.
That's right.
That means 7 points.
38-yard run is his career long for a touchdown. 7-0. Wisconsin, and Hall to kick. Lawson and Dyson back. Deep for Utah. Hall doesn't usually give anybody a chance to run anything back.
No, if you want to catch one of Hall's kicks, you got to buy a ticket, because they usually end up in the stand.
You got to be first row end zone, usually.
And this is the thin air out here. That's not even legal. You know, they just bomb that thing.
So now Utah goes back to work for its own 20. Capping the 54-yard drive in 2:05.
Don't think that won't help Ron Dane in finding some cracks, because now another weapon has been established. They've thrown the ball deep twice. They've run the bootleg with their quarterback. Now they can go back to Dane.
See if Utah goes back to the air. Maafala got about 2. Chris, who's had some tough sledding against Lysick and Monty inside, along with McClusick, who gets off the bottom of the pile.
Wisconsin is a good rush defensive team. If you're going to run the the ball effectively on them, I think you're going to have to show them that you can throw the ball first and take them out of their run game. You know, Pete, Monty, Salah, Klusic, Jurowitz, they are good at stopping Big Ten run games. And when they lined up against Ohio State in Ohio, they will not be fazed by Utah's run game.
Here comes a blitz on Fouts. Throws a fade, but his wide receiver stopped out there. That was Rocky Henry. I don't know if there was a little stop and go, but Rocky did mostly stop.
Yeah, it was a stop, go, stop. At that time, Fouts thought it was going to be a stop and go, and Henry had a stop, go, stop. And then right at the end, a little grab, and I don't think by Jason Suttle's grab there, I don't even think the ball landed in the field of play. And now Fouts, who started off slowly, and Fred Graves, the offensive coordinator, told us one of the keys to this game, he thought, was to get Mike Fouts off quickly in this game. He started off bad against BYU, and he never really found this game.
He's streaky. Good streaks, bad streaks. There's Fred Graves. And now Fouts will have to work from the shotgun. There's 4 wideouts. Let's throw the screen to Henry this time. He got a nice block, and he got a first down. Had to scramble for it a little bit. Monty finally put him down, but he got about 12. And he got an excellent block. Rocky Henry out there after he made that catch.
You know, remember last time Utah in 3rd and long, they threw the corner route, and Wisconsin was outside technique. So now this time Fred Graves says, hey, you want to play outside technique? We'll run the screen to the wide receiver and pick it up outside. Fred Graves, who scripts a lot of the plays, 14 of them to begin the game, I think already is out of his script. They've had 2 3rd and longs.
First down. From the 32. Play action. Fouts wants to come back the other way on a screen pass, incomplete.
Boy, that was a big miss. You know, that play called for maybe like a pitching wedge, and he hit a 7-iron over that guy.
That was a tight end screen as Chris Jerry's got out there.
And you know, Tarek Saleh that time, Tarek Saleh, excuse me, I should know him. He's been doing it for 4 years. You know, I mispronounce my own kid's name sometimes too. There he is. Tarek Saleh that time doesn't get off the line of scrimmage. I think he reads this. When Jerry's goes away, he feels it. Look at him stop right there and see it. And that forced Fouts to throw the ball a little higher than he wanted to.
Saleh led the Big Ten in sacks this year and last year, and in tackles for loss. He's a guy that is always revved up to come off that corner. This time he takes an inside stunt, and the inside running game has a big opening for Utah. Juan Johnson, as we said, you can't just gang up on Ma'afala because this guy had over 700 yards in the regular season.
Stunned on the inside, you're expecting a pass. If you hit it right, you can make it go. Saleh coming inside, Jurowitz coming around, and that is the hole right in there. You're thinking pass, pass, pass. Said, hey, coach, we watched all this film. This is the WAC. You told us they were going to throw the ball.
Ma'afala on the sideline. You saw Fred Graves giving him an earful a little while ago, and so Johnson stays out there at the tailback spot, having picked up 13. Juan got him a first down at the 45-yard line.
Juan Johnson had battled through injuries all year. He's as healthy as he's been.
They'll give it to him again. This time stacked up at the line. Maybe got a yard. That's about it. Jurowitz in on the stop inside.
You know, we opened up the game with Ma'afala, but when you have 2 guys that can run close to 1,800 yards like this, you've got a back just like the other team has in Dane.
Well, when Ma'afala was injured against Tulsa and out of the game, Juan Johnson had 34 carries, 197 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now they've got Chris back out there. The big fella, they say about 280. We were kidding around after all the banquets here in Tucson. Going to throw that wide out screen. Henry again on the run. Well, it worked before. It works this time. Just a little bit short of the first down, I think, though. Adamov in on the tackle.
Henry to the outside is going to run another screen, and a white block by his receiver right here. You see it. See here comes Henry inside. Dyson blocks for the other guy. All the linemen are upfield. You got another screen right there. You just follow it behind him.
He did get enough for a first down. Forward progress right to the 45 of Wisconsin. 8th play of the Utah drive with 7:20 remaining first quarter. They trail by a touchdown. High backfield this time. Long handoff, and that's going nowhere.
Yeah, Lysick that time. Dave Lysick came in from the back. side, making that tackle in between Monty, Carter, and Leising. Those guys came into Wisconsin together, and they played a lot of football together.
Dave kind of gets overlooked sometimes because Monty's made so many tackles, and Carter's kind of a big play guy, but Leising had to play behind Eric Undrazat for a few years to earn his stripes, or his Badger claws, whatever you want to say. But he can hit you too, number 57. Second down and 10. 3 wide out group for Mike Fouts. They'll keep it on the ground, though. 3 or 4 for Maafala. And tackle made by Diatalevi as we check in with Adrian.
Brad, the thing that Coach Graves is getting after Maafala about was the fact he's taking too much freedom with the offense here. Now, as you see, he may have re-injured that left knee as he's coming off the field. One of the reasons is he's not hitting the holes that Coach Graves coached him to. He's coming up to the line and picking his holes. He's never done this in any other game. Kind of has Coach Graves confused. I'm going to find out what's going on with that injury.
Whoa, he just made the ground shake on the other side. He went down. He's clutching the left knee. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 7 on the field. Fouts going deep, man open, got it at the 22-yard line.
You cannot throw that route any better than Mike Fouts did that time. He didn't put enough, he didn't put too much air in it, and he beat the corner, Cyril Weems, right in that angle. What a throw to Fouts. Left side of your screen, you'll see this ball. As he lets it go, he's going to shoot it right here. But watch Weems, number 7, the corner, fall off his man and nearly make the play on the ball right there. That's how hard he shot that ball in there. If he'd have laid it up, that ball would have been intercepted.
Bettinger with a 20-yard catch. And now it's first down. Utah at the 22 of Wisconsin. 4 wideouts, empty backfield. Fouts deep middle again. Incomplete. And again, he was trying to go to the same guy, Boo Bettinger. Meanwhile, the big fella on the sideline, they're checking over the left leg.
Looks like his ankle that time. This play was 2 plays ago. McClusick, he beat Jurowitz, and then I think McClusick put his... No, I think it came from behind. It might have been his own guy that time, Chad Folk, who got him as he fell back from his block. One of those freak things.
Adrian, okay, we'll check in with Adrian after this play. Second down and 10. 5.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Here's a little shovel pass to Dyson on the run. Dyson inside the 10, and he weaves his way down to the 6-yard line. It's first and goal, Utah. Cyril Weems saved the touchdown, but Dyson, who's got all that speed, took that little shovel pass and went 15 yards.
Utah got away with a little bit of a hold that time, too. Here's Bendinger right to the outside. Watch how he holds Monty. As this ball comes around, Monty's shirt gets ripped. Monty can't get out there. Dyson's a little too fast for him anyway, but there was a little hold on the play. Nice drive here, as I think Utah said, hey, this passing works a little better than this running against these guys.
12 plays already. That's covered 74 yards. And on the 13th play of the drive, it's first and goal at the Wisconsin 6. About a yard for Juan Johnson, who came in for Chris Fuamatu Maafala. Adrian, what do you have on the injury?
Very tense moments over here. What they're checking is his left ankle. It is not that same knee he injured earlier this year against Tulsa. They're checking for a fracture because he says they heard something pop. He felt movement in there. Remember something else, guys. He's playing 10 to 12 pounds heavier than he was when we saw him against BYU. He's carrying more weight. Remember what I said about Coach Graves getting after him about all this cutting stuff? He's never done this any other time in the season, so he may be his own worst enemy here, but they may take him in here shortly for x-rays, guys. I'll keep you updated.
He's on that bench all by himself right now. His teammates with a second and goal at the 5. Nice play fake by Fouts, but he's getting flushed by Sala, and he's got to throw it away. That's what Tarek Sala does so well.
That came off of a play fake, as you called it, Brad, and Sala saw it very quickly, and he can accelerate. That's why he's led the Big Ten in sacks the past 2 years. Right side, takes on the block, and all of a sudden he puts his sights on Fouts, and Fouts did a nice job of getting this ball back to where they snapped it the first play and just getting rid of it. He looks a little winded, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I got to think Mike Fouts is a little winded. He got planted. It is third and goal at the 5. There's their red zone percentage this year. 25 touchdowns in their 30 successful adventures down in here. They'll work from the shotgun. Empty backfield, 3rd and 5. Fouts quarterback draw. He's a little guy going down. Wisconsin never bought it. Tom Burke especially.
You know, really that time, that's probably the best pass blocking that Mike Fouts had the whole drive. Because, as you say, the Wisconsin players probably were looking for that play or had a spy guy because the middle of the field looked open. I thought it would work, but they reacted very well.
Pulsipher, who has a school record 35 career field goals, is going to try to put Utah on the board here from 24 yards away. And he does, with 3 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. First quarter from the Copper Bowl. 7-3 Wisconsin. Well, I know that his teammates hope that he can come back out, but it doesn't sound like it's good news for Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala. As Adrian told us during the break, it looks like they're going to bring an ambulance out. They fear that there might be a fracture in that ankle right now. He's in an obvious amount of pain. He's got a sister there with him on the sideline. And his teammates just put together a good-looking drive that did not net them a touchdown, but it got him a field goal. From the 3, Aaron Stecker. And he got tapped pretty good by Frank on that kickoff return to the 23. And it looks like we can see at the very end of the play, maybe when the injury occurred, Garrett.
I think it was Pete Diatlevy, number 39, that makes the play. He's going to fall on him right at the end of the play. There's one hit, run through another tackle. Now watch as he turns around. Chris will pick up his feet, and then number 39 will land on it. His left ankle gets bent on the play. That would be my best guess of what happened.
It looks like it. Wisconsin back on offense from the 23-yard line. First down. Here's a little delay counter to Dane, and Dane's into the secondary. And here goes the big fella down the sideline, all the way to the 41-yard line. 37 yards.
When you talk to the coaches at Wisconsin, Brad Childress, everyone says the same thing about Ron Dane. He has great patience, and number 2, great vision, and feels the opening. Lusk got caught up in the traffic that time, and then he ran. Robert Love, the outstanding outside linebacker, just clipped his heels, or Dane might have sent it 6 for 60 at this point already.
Because Hayes was on his way to getting a good block on Lawson, the cornerback, who's the last guy that had a chance. So Robert Love just definitely saved a touchdown. Dane left side. Here he goes again. Dane cuts back, and now he's going to take it. The Madison Express touchdown. As one big guy goes to the locker room, the other one will head to the sideline with a 40-yard touchdown.
Wisconsin's offensive line that time blocked it brilliantly, and obviously they've got the guy that take it all the way to the end zone. Not only is he big and tough to bring down, you're worried about him breaking tackles. This time he didn't have to break any tackles.
You're worried about him getting 100. He's got them already. We have 3:11 to go first quarter. Back-to-back runs of 37 and then 40 yards. Touchdown Dane. All for the extra point. Up and good.
Really incredible. The other team's, Utah's defense is stacked to stop this man, but that's nothing different. There's Whittingham, Kyle Whittingham. On the end, Aaron Gibson, number 81, just seals his man. Wunsch comes around, and then there's the great cut that Dane made once he got out to the secondary. And when they say Ron Dane runs smart, he runs with his eyes. This time he cuts back behind Lusk. Remember before, Lusk got caught in traffic, didn't get outside wide enough. So both times Dane beats the free safety.
And Ron does a little
incredible. Really incredible.
New Jersey high step into the end zone there in the last couple yards.
Brad, people are always asking me already, just as a freshman, who you would compare this guy to. I don't know if there is a fair comparison to him as to what he is as a running back. You know, he's just stocky enough to use his weight smartly, and I think he's different than even a Jerome Bettis or Ironhead. I just really can't think of anyone that matches up to the way he's built and the way he runs.
Someday we might be looking at a guy that they say, you know, he runs like Ron Dane.
Yeah, I think so.
100 yards in 12 minutes. for Ron Dayne. 14-3 Wisconsin. And Hall set to kick. Well, that drive didn't take him long, did it?
No. Now, how about what Pete Monty said about his teammate? He said, someday I'll be telling my grandchildren that I played with the great Ron Dayne. That's from a senior Butkus Award candidate, one of the best football players I've seen in the Big Ten.
Hall will probably knock this thing out of the end zone, or maybe out of the stadium. At least out of the end zone. Touchback. Utah will work from its 20. Ron McBride trying to urge his troops on as they're now down 14-3 with their big running back out. Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week continues tomorrow. It's the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Raymond Priester leads Clemson as they head into the Dome against SEC runner-up LSU. Kevin Falk, Rondell Mealy, those guys can put up a few yards as well. That's tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. The LSU Tigers and the Clemson Tigers. They'll be pawing each other tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. From the 20. Fouts throws it out, incomplete, intended for Omar Bacon, who kind of found himself in a funny position trying to make the catch, trying to turn and catch that ball and run at the same time, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, right according to the way we thought this game would go, really. I mean, if Wisconsin is able to run the ball, they're going to run the ball. I mean, sooner or later, Brad, you're right. They are going to do one of those Boomer Esiason type fakes and let that thing go deep. But if they can keep running it, they're going to do it. And as we take a look at Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala being taken in the car, he's strapped in. You get a seatbelt on at least.
Wow.
He's going to go get that baby X-ray.
I can guarantee you they got that seat all the way back, too. Fouts. That's 2nd and 10. Rifles it out. Got it out there in a hurry to Rocky Henry, who dives trying to get the first down and came up a yard short.
When you say rocket it out there, I mean, you're exactly right about the way Mike Fouts throws the football. He is not a big guy. Maybe 170 pounds, maybe 5 foot 10 inches tall, but he has tremendous rotation in the upper body, and he kind of delays that arm back almost like a tennis serve, and he just rips it through there. He has got a real strong arm. Actually, it's more than an arm. He uses his whole body. He whips it in there.
3 minutes left in the quarter. 3rd down and 1.
They need this first down.
And they get that first down as Juan Johnson takes it off the left side, picks it up. And they'll move the sticks. Mike Fouts, and I think everybody in the world knows, if you've never seen a Utah football game, maybe you don't know, is the nephew of Dan Fouts, an old friend of ours and an NFL Hall of Famer and former great with the San Diego Chargers.
He is one of the guys I really can't stand, is Dan Fouts. I never won a game again. I must have played him 10 times, never won one game. The guy beat us every time.
Well, I used to do ball games with him, as a matter of fact. I just keep rotating my quarterbacks. That's all I do. First down from the 31. And a little opening for Johnson's, closed by Monty as he got 4 out to the 34. Pete Monty helps up the guy he just took down. Monty came into this one with 165 tackles and 438 on his career. Now, he's added to that total already tonight. He'll probably end up being Wisconsin's all-time leading tackler because he only trailed Tim Krumreich by about 6 stops, and he's not very far behind Gary Casper. He needed 9 to pass him. So we're going to probably see this guy tonight become the Badgers' all-time leading tackler. And it couldn't happen to a better guy and a more intense football player. We've seen him a long time playing that middle spot. Senior out of Fort Collins, Colorado.
And his coach, Barry Alvarez, who has coached a lot of linebackers in his day. Remember, he was the defensive coordinator for years at Notre Dame and all around the conference, said he is the best linebacker I've ever coached, and that really says enough. And, you know, had Wisconsin been a Rose Bowl team, he could have been the Pat Fitzgerald of the Big Ten. I mean, that's the type of player he is.
Monday, we'll see the Butkus Award winner when we get out to San Diego for the Holiday Bowl. Matt Russell of Colorado. Here's Johnson left side, and Juan's got something working. As he goes down on the back of his wide receiver's ankle, I hope Kevin Dyson can get up. Hold on.
He is rolling around, and that's what happens. You fall on those ankles. Oh, that was just
nice
one of those.
spring, Kevin.
That was one of those put the camera on me injuries, and then you trot off.
He's trotting a little slower than normal, maybe. We check in with Adrian.
Well, guys, with Ma'afala out of this game now, probably for the duration, the pressure has really gone now to the offensive line of the Utah Utes. McBride said, look, you guys, totally different style of runner in Juan Johnson, although they played in the same backfield. But when Ma'afala carries the ball, he blocks as much as he carries. So you guys got to sustain your blocks now all the way downfield. Give Johnson the opportunity to make his decision which way he's going to run.
I think this forces Utah into the game plan, Gary, that you and I think they've got to utilize to win the game anyway. That is play action and throw it.
They do. They have to keep making those defensive backs for Wisconsin play pass first and not crowd the line of scrimmage. Kevin Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin, has made a commitment when he took over the defensive coordinator job to move up as many guys as he had to stop the run in the Big Ten. Well, this isn't the Big Ten right now, and he knows that. But when he told us yesterday, he said, you know, Gary, Brad, we played some pretty good receivers in the Big Ten the last few years. I don't think we're going to see anybody on this field that we haven't played against before.
Once you've seen the Joey Galloways and the Terry Glenns and the Mercury Hayes and all those guys, there's some pretty good ones that have come down the pipe. They're going to measure this one.
Now, there's two sides of that story, though. Those guys all made a lot of yards against them.
Well, it could be, too. At least you're not shocked.
Right. I've seen him do that before.
Yeah.
Coach, he ran by me just like Terry Glenn. He reminds me a lot of him, you know. From behind, they look the same.
Right. Yeah, the bottom of your feet, maybe.
It has been a year to remember for the Badgers, has it?
Has it ever?
Wow. And you got to give a lot of credit to the seniors and this coaching staff for taking 4 straight losses and then turning it into a bowl game. They turned the ball over to Ron Dayne. They turned the ball over to their senior leadership and said, we're going to win 7 games one way or another, and they did it.
First and 10 as Utah, by the length of the football, got the first down at the Wisconsin 46-yard line. Johnson, nice opening off the left side again. And inside the 40 he goes. He's got 7 before Adamov can make the stop from the secondary.
Yeah, people, we built up Chris Fa'amatu-Ma'afala a lot, but Juan Johnson is a good running back. And if, you know, Chris can run those types of yards. I think Johnson and Omar Bacon, who's in the game now, a guy who they had the red shirt, come off of a red shirt this year, is going to have to play as, boy, now we watch Johnson.
Johnson's limping a little bit. Well, here's the guy you just talked about. Now it's Bacon's turn.
The plan was to redshirt Bacon, but with the injury to Chris Ma'afala, they had to fall on him, and he responded.
2nd and 3. Fox lost one for his tight end and just missed him. Dirk Christopherson stretched those arms out on that frame of his, and it was not quite enough.
They seem to have a matchup to that side with the tight end. Lysick is up against Christopherson there, and they're just going to swing him out to the outside right here. They've got the guy they want, Lysick, on him. But, you know, when you're running and you got your hand stuck up in the air, that slows you down. You know, if that was a good technique, you'd see all the sprinters running that way with one arm up in the air.
Michael Johnson with his hands in the air.
I used to tell the guys, you know, I don't see you any better with your hand up in the air or not. Just run.
3rd down, a long 3. There's the huge play selection so far. They've mixed it up very well. Wisconsin comes with a blitz. Looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. A tough run by Bacon. And Tom Burke made the stop, but I think Omar picked it up by a half a yard again.
Brad, you said we both would like to see Utah to continue to air out their passing game, and I think that's right. But I also think it's right to not give up completely just because you lost your feature back on the run game. If you want to make Sala and Jurowitz and those guys really effective pass rushers, just throw the ball. They'll be coming all night.
Yeah, they'll be there for you.
So I like the game plan so far that Freddie Gaze, as he's pointing to the clock, that means the quarter's going to end. And they're going to say, let's talk this over and see where we are.
Ron Dayne with 100 yards and a touchdown. Mike Samuel has scored one for Wisconsin. 14-3, they lead Utah at the end of one. Adrian Karsten from Tucson, Arizona Stadium, side of the Copper Bowl, where Wisconsin leads 14-3 as we start the second quarter. But Utah's got a little drive working again. The 9th play of the drive that has them at the Wisconsin 35-yard line. First down. Keehan in motion. Bounce to the blitz. And it's the wide out screen to Keehan, and he's got a big game. Down inside the 20.
That is really an incredible play that college football has that pro football doesn't. If you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, your lineman can go downfield early. And Utah has 9 different screens in the game plan, and they take advantage of it. As those offensive linemen, they're down there. They've got a convoy, 3 of them downfield. When Keehan takes the ball, it's like a jailbreak, and it's really what they call it.
Jailbreak screen.
You got it.
And those guys, those linemen especially, Davis has been down there number 70 all day long. They really know how to work that thing. They've got it inside the 20. Last time they came away with only a field goal when they got down to the 5. First down here at the Wisconsin 17. Henry inside the 15. He got about 3 before they push him back. Juan Johnson, who we will see a lot of tonight. You just joined us. Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala, the big 280-pound bruiser for Utah, has left the stadium on his way to the hospital for x-rays on what they think is a fractured left ankle.
Well, let's hope not. Let's see if he can get in there. Here's the matchup that I think Utah is looking at. Here's Lysick right here inside of the tight end Christopherson. They're swinging him out to the outside. They think they've got a place to throw the football. There it is.
There it goes. Could have been a touchdown. Should have been a touchdown.
It's really obvious when you stand up here. That is a ball that should have been. Did you see Fouts turn around and look in the lights? Did you say, like, what, did a bug get in your eye, or were there lights there? I mean, that's a catch of a football.
That time it wasn't too high for Christopherson. He just didn't handle it.
And Lysick is 6'2", but he's got an inside technique, and they're just swinging him to the outside. Now, this is like a fade to your tight end against a linebacker who's not used to doing it. Now, unfortunately, either is your tight end used to doing that, so you got a problem. But that's there all day.
And maybe he did look into that bank of lights. I don't know, because it went right between his hands. Now from the spread, it's 3rd and 7. Fouts trying to throw the screen, and it's intercepted by Sorrell Weems down the sideline. Fouts to beat, and he does. Sorrell Weems, will he take it? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
On this play. And man on the line of scrimmage right there. Saleh is going to get his hand up and knock this screen down with his right hand. Weems says, oh boy, I'm a corner. I got another 7 in front of me, and he's a quarterback. I'm going to be okay.
Then Rocky Henry came into the picture, and Weems did a little fade the last 5 yards for the touchdown, 82 yards later. John Hall for the extra point. Wisconsin 21, Utah 3.
ESPN's presentation of the Copper Bowl is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car, and by Thrifty Car Rental. Great cars in over 50 countries around the world. Best of all, it's thrifty.
Copper Bowl record 82-yard interception return for a touchdown by Sorrell Weems.
Wisconsin, baby.
And Tarek Saleh, we're going to give him even more points.
What did we do? We gave him 4 points. Right. But upon further review, Saleh is going to do 2 things on this thing. Not only does he knock the ball down right there, but then he says, I'm not done playing. I'm going to go get the block to spring him.
Bettinger might have been the only guy that had the speed to catch Weems, is what we're saying.
Absolutely. We're going to give him, we can't give him 6, so we got to give him 5 points on that deal.
Here's the kick. Dyson will field a yard deep and bring it out. Met at the 20, bounces off and gets to the 25. And let's check in with Adrian.
Well, Brad, Gary, how about one more point? Make it an even 6 for a big hug from Lamar Campbell, the defensive back. Remember the point I made moments after kickoff? Saleh, Jurewicz up front. We're going to have to keep the pressure off the defensive backfield. Lamar Campbell comes up, gives Saleh a big hug. Thank you for making us look good. Keep going.
We can't give them all a point. Sorrell went 82 yards.
That's right. Sorrell gets 1 point. That's all. 5 is as much as I can give on that one.
You guys are a rough crowd, boy. You're hard to please.
Well, It keeps staying on the bench, I guess, right? Just got it one way or another.
Look at that time of possession. How deceiving is that?
Yeah, 30 plays for the Utes.
Bounce, rifles to Dyson. Whoa, did that thing get there in a hurry? Out near the 40-yard line, first down.
Yeah, because Jason Suttle was there just as Dyson caught that ball.
Mike Bounce might not be little, but watch this football.
That's right. He zips it in there. Watch the rotation. He just snaps that left side away, and that thing just zipped in there. And that was the proverbial frozen rope right there.
Mike said when I was a kid, I pretended I was my uncle. And all my friends were like John Jefferson and Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow. I don't know what his buddies are doing now, but he's still throwing the football.
That's right.
Juwan Johnson out to the 44-yard line where Bob Adamov made the tackle. We'll give him 4. And we'll remind you, coming up tomorrow and Sunday, NFL Countdown. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Sterling Sharp, Chris Mortensen, and the rest of the gang for the first and last word before kickoff. 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, noontime on Sunday. Then at 7:30, all the highlights, analysis, and insights of the game on NFL Primetime. We'll take you all the way through the playoffs and all the way to Super Sunday on ESPN. Juwan Johnson got 4. Second down and 6. We've got 12:21 left first half, and it's 21-3 Wisconsin. Johnson tripped up by Monty, or he might have had a big gainer. As it is, he got to the 48, where it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, Pete Monty is going to fill and read as quick as any linebacker in college football. His eyes are on the remaining back. Watch him fill. He dodges the block, gets right in there, and he made the tackle, but was not happy with himself because he didn't face up on him.
Just made it with an arm tackle.
Still counts.
Yep.
Good.
He was voted the most valuable player by Wisconsin. There's the career tackle chart. Now that has changed. That 438. He's been in on a lot of stops tonight. And we'll track that for you because Crumrye and Casper are going to lose those 2 spots very soon.
They're going to be forced to punt the ball. You run an I-formation isolation play against this Wisconsin defense, you're going to have to handle Neil McClusick in the middle and Tarek Saleh coming around the outside. And I'll tell you, they just crunched that play that time.
Yep.
And they're going to be forced, I just got to believe they're going to be forced to punt the football here. Those are long yards. They lost 2 yards on that play.
Yeah, Ron McBride sends out Hunter, who shanked the first one. An 18-yard kick the first time he got out there. Set the kick away. Aaron Stecker, who took 163 for a touchdown against Hawaii in the season finale.
Wisconsin has kept their defense in the game. They are playing it as a punt fake play. They're going to force Utah to punt the ball.
4th down and 3. Oh, Hunter hit this one a mile in the air. Stecker has to get out of the way. This might be a great kick, as it will be fielded inside the 10. Nice job by the Utah special teams, and Hunter makes up for his first punt with a beauty there. But still, the Utes are down 21-3.
More and more travelers are finding.
Kyle Whittingham, the defensive coordinator for Utah.
And he knew when we met with him yesterday that they were in for a handful. They gave up 376 yards rushing to BYU, and he said these guys are better blockers.
Yeah. Kyle's the one that said our goal was to keep Dane to 7 yards or less on each carry. He's already got 1 for 37 and 1 for 40 the last time Wisconsin had it on offense. Armin Boglin in on the stop there as Dane gets short yardage. Worst starting field position, obviously, here for Wisconsin, as that punt was a good one and put them inside their own 10.
Yeah, I think when you're Wisconsin at this point, the way you've been able to run the ball, you just look at that as an opportunity to gain 91 yards.
They got the guy they call Gibby in there now, playing one of the tight end spots, and he is the biggest player in college football, wearing a number 81 at tight end, Aaron Gibson. And with the banquets out here, they say he's in the vicinity of 380, Brad Childress told us. He said you have to estimate at this point of the season. Dane up the middle, trying to bounce it outside, but a nice job by Utah and Harold Lusk, who came up from his safety spot and filled in a hurry. And a short gain again. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3. And we got a flag on the far side of the field. Wisconsin says it's against Utah. Let's see about that. Bill Richardson is our referee tonight. First penalty we've had, isn't it?
Seems as I remember.
Number 46 lined up in the neutral zone. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Chris Godfrey, the outside linebacker, got up too close apparently in the neutral zone, and an automatic first down. There's Brad Childress in the middle. Mike Cassidy to his right, our left, who is going to be leaving Wisconsin and on to Baylor.
On to Baylor, defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, including Dave Campbell, new coach at Baylor, left from Notre Dame.
At the 20, first down by penalty. Now Gibson's lined up on the left side. And Lyles, the tight end, will go in motion from that spot. They'll play fake it. Samuel on the bootleg again, and again he'll run, but this time he's not going for a touchdown. He's going down. Chad Kahaha had that one read. Chad got out there. He had a good game. One of the only guys that had a good game when we saw him against BYU.
When we talk about Harold Lusk's read from the safety position, what you'll see is the Wisconsin linemen pulling very strongly on this play. They almost over-exaggerate it, and that's what Lusk is looking for to read his key, and he did a good job this time. Is he is right on coverage right here and forces Samuel to run the ball and get next to nothing on the play. That's the challenge. All night, Lusk is going to have to read very quickly, is it a run or is it a play-action pass?
Well, they had about 2,000 pounds going left.
Going left, Jack.
And Dane this time does come left. And Ron goes out across the 30. He's got another first down out near the 32-yard line. Moglen and Love, two linebackers, make the stop.
This line for Wisconsin are all seniors except for left tackle Chris McIntosh, number 75. And that time McIntosh just pinned his man down that time, allowing Dane and Lyles to get around the corner. You got Wunsch and McIntosh, a freshman, and next year moving Gibson over to that tackle spot. You got a pair of bookend tackles, you know, but they're averaging 350. One guy 400, the other guy 350.
That's the other thing Jerry Wunsch said, who's an all Big Ten guy and who's a senior. He said, you know, when we leave, they're not getting any smaller behind us. Dane up the middle. That time found himself an opening. Good blocking, just split the seam of the middle of the hash marks, and he goes 7 yards out to the 39-yard line.
You know, Coach McBride and Kyle Whittingham told us that this game is about manhood, and we have to show that we're men enough to stop this running game. Well, sometimes you can be all the man you want. You can try as hard as you want. You may just get outmatched. There may be nothing you can do about it. You know, it's like trying to juggle 6 balls at one time. You just can't physically do anything about it.
Those are huge things you're trying to juggle on that front wall for Wisconsin. Second down and 3. Dane, this time, well, he bounces underneath the pile and got more yardage than I thought he was going to get. Ta'unu'u was the guy, along with Kafusi, who made first contact, and then Dane just kind of bounced out there, and he's about a yard short.
The thing that Utah has to realize with this Wisconsin running game is that they have to stay solid. The defensive line has to form up with their man, not get their shoulders turned sideways, because Dane will find the crack. And for the most part, except for those 2 long runs, they have been doing a good job on it. Wisconsin just doesn't give up on the run game. They just keep pouring it in there.
Seems academic who's going to get the football here on 3rd and 1. Dane, first down. And runs out to the 45-yard line. Needed 1, and he got 4.
Aaron Gibson, the big tight end who started out the year as a tackle, Barry Alvarez told us, is getting better at tight end. He's getting used to playing that wide spot and blocking. This time he's matched up with Chris Gottfried and does a nice job of moving those feet. That guy's close to 400 pounds. And look how he moves his feet that time around the outside to make that block.
You know, Godfrey looked like a guy that was going up against a garage that didn't have any windows. He couldn't even see around
Absolutely.
it.
And Godfrey is 6'2", 240.
There it is again. There's the matchup. First down. Dane again left. Cuts outside. Into Utah territory at the 49. And it was Godfrey who hung on there to make the stop.
Now, last time, Aaron Gibson again stalked around to the outside. This time, Gibson, number 81, I don't have to circle him. He's in the whole screen right there. He's just going to block down and to turn the lights out, and they're around the outside. The only reason he almost loses his block is he gets pushed out the block that time by Manny Castro coming around. what a weapon. The only people that I've seen, Brad, that really handled this blocking all day was Iowa. For some reason, in that Iowa game that we did, the Wisconsin offensive line could not push that Iowa defense off the edge. And Utah's about the same size up front, you know, so it can be done. And
0 passing yards for Wisconsin.
There's that big set 0, and you know what? What's more important than 0? Up here, 21-3.
8th play of the drive coming up. 6 of the 7 on this drive have been Ron Dayne. The other one was the bootleg scramble by Samuel. So all runs again. So far, they're thinking about an end around. They play fake it. And now they're going downtown for Hayes. And it's broken up. Samuel didn't get enough on it. Hayes outran that pass. Nice coverage. Dave Richards back there to break it up.
Brad, I don't think Hayes gave Samuel enough time to do everything he had to do. Fake 2 times, both the tailback and the reverse, and then throw the ball. Watch the 2 fakes he has to make. He fakes the ball to McCullough, and then he's got the wide receiver coming around. Now, once he turns around, Hayes is already down there 40 yards. You'll see the ball. He doesn't have enough arm to throw the ball that far. If Hayes would have been more patient with that play, it could have worked.
Mike Samuel 0 for 3 passing, but he does have a touchdown run. Back to the run they go. McCullough is near the 45-yard line as we check in with Adrian.
Well, Brad, you and Gary remember that Iowa game that you bring up. They went into that game thinking with more movement on the defensive line up front, they could confuse Wisconsin. Well, that's been the conversation on the Utah sideline here. But I hear the Wisconsin guys say, well, this is just like our scout team. I mean, there's no challenge for these guys up front right now, and all the movement in the world is not going to beat 30 pounds across the line.
Yeah, 40, actually. 309 and 269. Those guys are doing what they can. 4th down and short. Dayne, first down. Went off the left side, got about 3. Taulilave, the inside linebacker, made the stop. This guy gets better as the game goes along. That's the bad news when you're playing defense.
That is the amazing thing about Ron Dayne. Remember, this guy was playing high school football a year ago. I remember when the freshman rule was put in, everyone who knew everything about football said, well, the kids won't be mature enough to play. This guy is looking pretty mature. He carries the ball 40 times a game.
He had 1,785 yards as a high school senior and had more than that as a freshman. And here's the fullback. Cecil Martin very rarely carries, and he's going to use that for all it's worth. They got about 9.
Had to laugh yesterday when we talked to Brad Childress. He said things were going so well against Hawaii. We thought we'd give it to the fullback. Even Big Cyril got a few carries. What must you be thinking if you're a defensive coach or a defensive football player for Utah right now? Probably every call that Kyle Whittingham has had in the book he's called, every technique they've used, and so far nothing has worked. They started off the game with a couple of tackles, but nothing he's been able to pull out has been able to work against this team.
He needs a defensive line that his dad coaches with a Raider.
Right.
Samuel, play action, pump fakes, and does throw. And there's a completion. And a first down catch to Donald Hayes. First passing yards of the ball game for Wisconsin comes with 4:31 left in the half.
Yeah, and look where that call was made. 2nd and less than the yard. They say, well, you know what? We gave it to the fullback once. Why don't we let Samuel throw one once, too? This is a bowl game. You know, he's had a nice year. If they had made it, they would have had 2 opportunities to run the ball.
We saw probably the best play fake pass we saw all year was Mike Samuel against Purdue as he tucked it behind his hip and went to Tony Simmons for a touchdown. And that's something you can do when you got a bruiser behind you that you give it to 50 times a game. Dayne got about 3. And Ron Dayne in the 2nd drive of this ball game. He was the drive. Took off. This is first down. Little delay. Cut outside. Goes 37 yards. And Robert Love saves the touchdown right there.
Well,
and then
he saved it for one play.
Yeah. Then it's 40 yards with a cutback run and a little high step at the 5. 2 plays, 77 yards, a touchdown.
And there's a man that was 260 pounds running away from Clarence Lawson, number 20 on that play, who's the cornerback for the other team.
There's the numbers on Dane so far, 9.3 a pop. He gets it on a little draw play here, and he's wrapped up pretty well by Ryan Aquina. If you're just joining us, don't forget Ron Dane's counterpart on the Utah side, Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala. Their 280-pound tailback left the stadium for x-rays on his left ankle. He was just short of a 1,000-yard season, having missed 3 games with a bad knee. And we just saw him come back against BYU. He said he was a little rusty and a little scared about his knee, and he was feeling so good yesterday. He said, this is the best I've felt all season long. Now with the time off, to give the knee a little bit more chance to get ready for this bowl game, and then the ankle goes on. 3rd down and 6. Samuel plenty of time to pass, and now scrambles around and gets put down at the 20-yard line. So it's going to be John Hall to come in with the field goal unit for Wisconsin as Utah holds.
Yeah, and Utah held that time because of great coverage from their defensive secondary. Remember, Wisconsin is the last rated pass offense in the Big Ten, and Utah, when you play in the WAC, you have to play good pass coverage. They match up well there, and they force Samuel to just eat the ball, wisely eat the ball, and with an opportunity to kick the field.
John Hall, number 3 in all-time record books at Wisconsin, and field goals made. He'll try one from 38 yards, and he got it. So with 2:02 remaining in the half, John Hall adds to the Wisconsin lead. They lead 24-3. Badger fans have had a lot to cheer about. 2:02 left in the half. They lead by 21. Scoring drive for Wisconsin, capped by the 38-yard John Hall field goal, but Ron Dane, most of it, 40 of the 71. He had another big half. And a half and 2 minutes yet to come. Hall to kick. Last time, Dyson was able to return it.
This time, our cameraman's going to return this one.
I don't even know if he's got a play on it.
Yeah, just over his eye, right there. That was the best chance on it, was our cameraman.
Halftime a couple of minutes away, and right now let's check in with Chris Fowler with a preview. Chris?
Yeah, greetings from the Crescent City. We'll talk about the Sugar Bowl arrivals as Lee and Kirk join me. Also a report from the Rose Bowl where the weather problems are affecting the preparation. And our blitzers will join us for a look at 4 other bowl games. All that coming up at halftime. From New Orleans and Pasadena, stick around.
All right, Chris, thanks. We have 2 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. Cheeseheads out in full force here in the great Southwest. Their team up 24-3. Fouts empty backfield from the gun with the 4 wide receivers. Mike throws on the run. Nice catch.
Throw catch right there. That was as good as you could do it, because that was good coverage that time.
Donnie Utu made the grab.
Mike Fouts has to be very careful right here. A turnover at this point down where they are right now, 24-3, would just be the end of the football game.
2nd down and 3 down the middle, and it's intercepted. It's exactly what Gary was talking about. Pete Monty, the linebacker, down the sideline. Monty lost the handle and didn't quite get there.
He stepped out on the 13-yard line, but Mike Fouts tried to stuff something in there that he had no business doing. Pete Monty's been in this league a long time in college football, and he played it perfectly.
24-yard return for Monty.
If anything in that situation, that ball should be thrown to the outside where you have one-on-one coverage and you feel real good about it. Inside, Monty knows as he throws balls, he's got help deep and he can cut underneath it. Makes the catch. You know Monty was probably a high school football player, even changed arms.
Fullback, you mean?
You bet, high school fullback as a football player, and he stepped out right on the 12-yard line.
So Wisconsin with a late Christmas gift from Monty. They already had one from Sorrell Weems, who took his to the end zone. Monty almost did, but stepped out of bounds, and now it's back to Dane, the big fella. Burrows his way down to the 5-yard line. 2nd down and 3 there. And just moments ago, we were talking about the fact that this game could easily be 17-10. Had Christopherson, the tight end, not dropped the ball, it bounced through him on one end. One play later, Weems went 82 the other way. And you look at the scoreboard, 24-3, and about to get worse if you're a Utah fan. Gibson in there, the extra tight end. Dane follows his blockers, runs into one of them, and goes out of bounds. It looks like even a little bit shy of the first down stick, which is at the 2-yard line. I don't know if I'd get cued here and run wide. I think I'd go boom up the middle, see what happens.
I mean, any run play that it goes anywhere near, either side of these tackles looks to be a mismatch against this team. And you saw a shot just a minute ago. Ron McBride was just encouraging his defense, whatever they can. Let's get a stop. Let's make them kick a field goal. Anything, they have to get a stop. And Wisconsin has the ability, I think, to get a first down here without a touchdown.
Third down, a yard for the first. About 3 yards for the touchdown. 46 seconds left in the half. Dane, touchdown.
Cecil Martin that time, the blocking back, did a perfect job of taking the end man on the line of scrimmage, took his legs out from under him, and that means Dane just walks into the end zone. What a nice job, well-coached play this time, and this went wide. There was nothing the Utes could do about it. Cecil Martin right here is going to come outside. Now watch how he takes the legs away right there.
Great block.
That is the block, and then you come right in here. You're 260 pounds, and that's as easy as it goes. Lusk, you're not going to do it. Stop a guy 260 on the goal line.
Paul puts up point number 31. 2 touchdowns for Dane. All Wisconsin here before halftime. And a lot of the Wisconsin fans are hoping they end up in New Orleans for another team from the Badger State. Right now, the Badgers doing it in the bowl game here in Tucson, 31-3. Dane's got 2 touchdowns. Samuel has 1. Weems, the defensive back.
They got kids sitting in the stands there waiting for a home run ball here from Hall. Let's see if he can get it in the stand. They're back. It's deep. It's deep. Will it be?
Not enough. Oh, they got it on.
All right. Well, they're there. It's like batting practice.
Got it on one hop. College basketball coming up later tonight on ESPN2. First round action from the Rainbow Classic in Honolulu. 12:30 a.m. Eastern. Northwestern against the Rainbows. Tomorrow night, Washington State meets Georgia. And then late tomorrow, back here on ESPN, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 Hawaii time. Michigan, unbeaten, 4th ranked against the Memphis Tigers. Rainbow Classic on ESPN and ESPN2. 6 possessions. And that was almost picked off, too. But now Dyson's going to take it down the sideline. Kevin Dyson all the way to the 40.
You're right, that was almost picked off. They need to throw the ball more to Dyson all the time. In fact, on the interception play, the play before, Dyson had his man beat. Fouts tried to go inside with the ball, and he paid dearly for it. Let's go back one play to that interception play to Monty, and I'll show you the matchup that Fouts tried to hit. He knew he had a wide receiver on Monty in one-on-one coverage. He tried to stick it in there, and Monty just ran underneath it and made the interception.
He's still trying to cool off from that run down to the 12-yard line. And after that, it was 3 plays for Ron Dayne to cap off the scoring drive. Utah's got a couple of timeouts left with 33 seconds remaining in the half. Boy, anything would look good right now, but obviously if you get a touchdown for Utah, that would give them something to hang their hat on going into the locker room. Brett Graves, the offensive coordinator, surrounded himself with his entire offensive unit. Now they'll bring it back out to a first down at the Badger 40.
See, now I think you can stick the ball in there because an interception now at this point in the field just does not kill you the way Wisconsin throws the ball. You know, at this half of the field, you can now gamble with the ball. When you're on your own half of the field, you have to really make sure.
Unless, of course, Weems catches it on the fly.
Well, yeah. I like that Dyson matchup.
There's Dyson. He got past the first man, but nice help from the inside from Tarek Saleh, who read that one from his defensive end spot, got back to make the tackle.
I don't think Wisconsin has anyone that can match up with Dyson on the outside. That means he's going to start forcing coverage to his side, and then Henry and the other players will start getting man-to-man coverage on the other side of the field. 20 seconds left in the half. Utah time to drive down to a late second quarter touchdown. That's not a neck roll, part of the equipment. That's a neck of Aaron Gibson. It works just as well, though, doesn't it?
It does. Same thing. Bounce. Deep out. Almost picked off by Weems.
Yeah, it was picked off because that ball was thrown way inside that time to Rocky Henry to the outside. Late again, not deep enough, and Mike Bounce is struggling with his passing game. He's making a lot of good throws, but he's making a lot of bad throws, and that's hurting his football team right now.
Got a couple of plays left here before halftime.
I think this game really turned on that batted pass by Tarek Saleh.
Yep. Dyson and Henry, the wideouts. Keehan has joined them. Going to try to throw the quick one out to Henry, and I don't think he got out of bounds. He slipped and went down on a knee on his own. And they're going to have to use their last timeout with 6 seconds left.
Well, the clock would have stopped after the first down on that play, and I guess you might as well use it. You can't use it again in last play. So now what do you do? Do you kick a field goal from this far? Do you throw a jump ball up in the end zone and try to get it? Dyson on a jump ball matched up out there is not a bad play.
Kevin Cosgrove saying, get back, get back, get back. Actually, Wisconsin saw one of those Hail Marys work against them earlier this year to end the half against UNLV. They gave up a Hail Mary type touchdown on the last play of the second quarter. So they've got a little history on their side negatively in that respect. But this is at the 27-yard line and soon to be the last play of the first half. Coming up tomorrow on ABC Sports, it'll be the NFL wildcard games. Jacksonville will be in Buffalo to take on the Bills. That'll be followed by Minnesota in Dallas to meet the Cowboys at 3:30 Eastern Time. It's coming up tomorrow on ABC Sports. Rondé, 2 touchdowns today in the first half. Mike Samuel has 1, running the football from 38 yards, and then Sorrell Weems' interception.
See, they're not going to try to kick the field goal, I don't think. Are they in this situation? See, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is like putting the men over when you're down by 8 runs.
Pulsifer going to try one apparently from 44 yards out. Well, he's the school record holder in field goals. He's about ready to add to it, but it got blocked. Almost think it was Saleh who got it. Wisconsin stops the last attempt of this half for Utah. They just swallowed that, and I think it was Tarek Saleh. At least his teammates are greeting him as such, but with a second left, Wisconsin gets it back.
Didn't like that strategy at all. You know, even if they make the thing, it does not look good to them stopping the offense for Wisconsin much. So you got to get big points. I like my odds on the outside with Dyson much better than a 45-yard field goal in this situation. The ball was, I don't know, it wasn't subtle that got it, so it was someone inside, but it stopped very quickly. It was Saleh. Tarek Saleh. What a game he's having. We've grown up with this guy.
Yeah, we have. And he's going to go to the locker room, a huge part of the Wisconsin first half success, and that guy is a big part of it too. Halftime from Tucson, it's 31-3. Wisconsin leading the Utes as we send it to halftime and down to New Orleans. And Chris Fowler. Chris. All Wisconsin in the first half. Just about set to start the third quarter. They lead Utah 31-3 thanks to Ron Dayne. Maybe on his way to a Copper Bowl record in a two-play sequence in the second quarter. He did all of the 77 yards, including 40 for the touchdown. 2 touchdowns for him in the first half, but maybe that's not the difference.
No, I think 2 of the other key plays was that play to the tight end right there that was not caught, and then the very next play, Tarek Saleh gets the hand on the pass to the outside. Weems makes the deflected catch, puts it in the end zone, and really a 14-point turnaround for Utah, and that changed the complexion of the game.
John Hall, the kick. As Utah, the good news for them is they get their hands on the football to start the second half, but they bobble it as Dyson picks it up. And Dyson across the 20. Still dragging people with him, gets out to the 23-yard line. Dyson looks like a guy that if you're a Utah fan could make a difference. They're going to have to find him in the second half now.
He's not hard to find. He's been open most of the day. Mike Fouts has to get him the football. That is a matchup that Wisconsin's having trouble handling. They could force some coverage over there and some other things would open. Right now, Mike Fouts has to play better.
Yep. He had 2 interceptions in that first half, and there's the turnover story you see down at the bottom of the Utah list. And Wisconsin has not needed the passing yardage. We didn't expect they were going to need much when you're putting up 205 on the ground. Mike Samuel has run for a touchdown as well in that first half of play. So the Utes start from their own 24-yard line to start the third quarter. Toss to Johnson. And Juan's got it out across the 30 to the 32-yard line as we check in with Adrian.
Well, Brad, as this game was about to kick off, I heard Wisconsin defensive football players say, we literally dare running back named Fuamatu Ma'afala to run against us. Well, they don't have to worry about that situation anymore because of the injury that took place in the first half. Keep an eye on Ma'afala as he goes into the line. It really isn't anything that took place as he backed into the defensive line of Wisconsin there. The injury took place as someone rolled on top of him. Hobbled off the field. It is now at St. Mary's Hospital here locally in Tucson. We're waiting for a definitive diagnosis on him. Probable broken ankle. When the pictures come back from the x-ray guys, I'll let you know exactly what the situation is.
All right, thanks. Saleh hit on the stop of Juan Johnson short of the first down.
The other injury to Utah in the first half, Robert Love, their outstanding linebacker, fractured his thumb. The bone was protruding right from the skin, and he will have to have that stitched up. Not sure if he's going to turn back on the football field.
The second time tonight we saw Juan Johnson limp out. And he is Fuamatu Ma'afala's replacement, and so that means Omar Bacon will have to carry the bacon, as it were, now, if indeed they keep it on the ground.
And Omar Bacon is right here from Tucson, Arizona.
Third down at 2. They'll throw. Batted in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Diatalevy this time. Somebody got a hand on that one. I wouldn't be shocked if it was Saleh, if it is.
He's in the running for MVP of the game if he gets his hand on this one. Also could have been Jurowitz inside because Jurowitz and those guys are all jumping. But that ball, again, was thrown. And remember, Mike Fouts probably is under 5 feet 10 inches tall. It's going to be at the end of the line of scrimmage. Let's see if it looks like McClusick that time, number 94. Well, just pick a guy. It's one of those guys. And they stuck their hand up and call a play. And that was a real odd one for it to be deflected because Fouts was trying to throw that ball deep downfield, but he still got it batted down. Very odd.
Third turnover. All interceptions off the arm of Mike Fouts. 2 of them tipped. Here comes Dayne. Ron Dayne into the secondary. Still on his feet.
He fumbled the ball that time, though, at the end.
And Utah says they have it.
I don't know. I thought the Wisconsin guy got it.
It is Utah ball. Dayne lost it as he got inside the 10-yard line.
I think Clarence Lawson, number 20, the corner, came back real late as Ron Dayne made a couple guys miss, broke a tackle, and I thought he thought he was in the clear to run into the end zone. Watch this cut. Boom. By Lusk. Runs through a tackle right there. Then coming from the left side, Lawson comes in and strips it. Ball pops down, and I think Gottfried's the guy, number 46, who fell on the football. Well, one mistake. I mean, he's just a high schooler.
Comes over, taps him on the helmet, says, hey, you got 25 yards. You maybe shouldn't have tried to get the last 2.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, if there was any hope for Utah, they had to get a turnover, and they got one.
Deep in their own territory is where they have to start there. Johnson off the bench after limping off and back on to gain about a yard. Saleh made the hit Got help from Lysick.
Well, Tarek Saleh has earned the respect of the Big Ten over 4 years of playing football. And I think he's earning everybody's respect here in the WAC now that is watching this football game, because he does not look the part as a big defensive end. He's really a glorified rush linebacker who puts his hand down and continues to make play after play.
Career sack leader for Wisconsin. Needs 1 tackle for loss to tie Mike Thompson in that category in the school record books. Fouts all day to throw now, but nobody over there except one of the Wisconsin coaches who made a pretty nice grab.
It is not allowed to be caught there on the outside. This guy in red jersey, though, you know, he caught somebody out there. Throwing the ball that time to Rocky Henry. But no one was there as Fouts just got rid of it.
Pretty good catch by Jay Hayes, though, the outside linebacker coach for Wisconsin. At the 10-yard line, 3rd down. And 9. Wisconsin of the Big Ten putting a licking on Utah from the WAC right now, unless they can come back this half. There's a nice toss. Complete out to Keehan. And Keehan's got a 1st down. Terrence Keehan, who had a pretty good ball game when we saw Utah in the regular season against BYU.
This ball was thrown with good timing to the outside. Terrence Keehan is going to go down just beyond the 1st down marker. Watch how this ball is delivered right on time. Look at balls released, guys turning. Here's the player, the corner that can make the play. It's gunned in there just in time before Suttle can get by and make the play.
So a 1st down for Utah out across the 20 to the 22. Draw play to Johnson. And Juan goes out to the 28-yard line. Pete Monty in on the tackle. Earlier bowl games today, Big East doing a good job with Miami's win at Syracuse. The win over Houston.
Well, you're talking about the Big East being 2-0. 2 big bowl games for the WAC. Utah and, of course, BYU matched up later in the bowl, you know, as the bowls progress, really playing for their conference in these games. They felt slighted by the Bulls, and now they have to go on the football field and show everyone they're a better conference than they're being given credit for.
2nd down and 4 from behind Mike Fouts. Threw that one a little bit behind Benninger, who turned at the last instant.
You see, that's the timing on that play where he was been working with Terrence Keehan. Keehan's a senior, 25 years old. I mean, he's been with Fouts. They've probably thrown that thing in their sleep hundreds of times. Benninger, not as many throws, and that ball either Benninger went a step too deep, Fouts threw it a step early, but it was no timing on the play.
At the 29, Mike Fouts, 3 picks. 2 of them were tipped, and the other one, Monty, made a great play from his middle linebacker spot. 3rd down, a short 4 here. Here comes a blitz. Fouts hangs in, throws a slant, complete, and a 1st down. Nice throw. Out to Donnie Utu. Adrian.
That's the one play, guys. I got the indication from the Utah locker room at halftime. They figured they can continue to move the ball, more importantly, control the ball here in the 3rd quarter, get some points on the board, because they don't think that there's anyone on the Wisconsin defensive unit, specifically in the secondary, who can hang with Rocky Henry or Dyson on that play. Remember how effective it was in the 1st half? That's the play McBride thinks will keep them in this game, at least get it close to us.
The problem with throwing short is those hands up front get in the way.
We've seen a lot of tip passes tonight. Fouts. There's a slant the other way to Henry. And he's sandwiched at the 41-yard line.
Pretty good job all night by this Utah offensive line. They've only given up 10 sacks all season in a conference that throws the ball a lot. 10 sacks. You can see they've given Fouts pretty good protection. I mean, this is a good rushing defense that you're facing in Wisconsin. And then you can look at it right there. 10 sacks all year matched up against the best in the Big Ten on the outside.
No sacks tonight on 30 pass plays for Utah. But the tip passes have been the difference. Johnson has Adamov pulls him down, but not before he gets a first down out at the 47-yard line. 10 minutes left third quarter after they move the sticks. 31-3 Wisconsin.
Barry Sims this time. He goes from pass blocking to a good job on the run blocking. Left side of your screen right here. Watch how he closes down on Jurowitz this time. It takes Jurowitz, as he tried to get back in the play, completely out of it. That is good run blocking. When you couple that with the pass protection, I think the Utah offensive line has done a good job tonight.
Ninth play of the drive. Remember, they started inside their own 10 after that Dane fumble. Bounce. This time he's level. There's sack number 1. Boy.
What is that? Like talking about a free throw shooter right before you go in.
Yeah.
They got a streak of it's 27 in a row, and all of a sudden, Big Jurowitz comes in there and ends it. Coming around Danny Davis on the right side, the right guard. He goes out, just pushes his hands away, gets into Mike Fouts' face, and there's nothing Fouts could have done on that one but eat it.
As we talked about earlier, they liked the fact that they could put Jurowitz inside. He started the season at defensive end, but then Tom Moore came on strong enough to be the starter outside, and it gave them presence inside with big number 85.
He's only been there half the year, and he's had 5 sacks since the second half of the year at tackle.
2nd and 16 now. Fouts has time. Buys himself a little extra, and now he's going to run for what he can. And Tom Burke chases him out of bounds as he got to the 50.
Good coverage in that secondary that time by Wisconsin as they dropped into a deep zone, and there was no one to throw the ball to.
Mike Fouts, an interesting story in that he has really never been a starter until this last couple of years at Utah. He was a backup guy in high school, a backup in junior college to Tony Banks. He's had to fight for every pass he's been able to throw, that's for sure.
And he was really ready to play this game, really looking forward to it. He said, I know you guys saw me against BYU. He said, I did not recognize that team that day.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play this football game.
3rd down and 7. Across the middle, 1st down and some more. Keehan got away from the first defender.
I think it was Carter that time, the linebacker, really a strong safety type linebacker player, Daryl Carter, number 19, that Keehan was matched up against. And that's just an option route. He ran it one time to the right for a 1st down. Now they throw it to the guy to the left. Keehan's a really interesting guy. 25-year-old senior playing for Utah in his last football game for the Utes.
Former walk-on who makes the catch. Picks up the 1st down. Wisconsin hasn't needed to pass. Utah knows they have to try to get back in. Fouts going to go deep. Just over the outstretched arms of Kevin Dyson, who had a little battle going on downfield.
Weems did a good job that time of getting in Dyson's face as Dyson says, hey, I need help. Now you wonder if that could be just cramping up on that play because he's doing a lot of running. Every time you're throwing a route, you're either catching the ball or clearing for someone else, and you could cramp up.
They're going to work on the legs of Dyson.
Yep, that's exactly what it is, cramping up.
8:19 remaining 3rd quarter. Dyson will limp off his team, trailing 31-3. Sorrell Weems, a senior out of Detroit, who was the man that took the tip pass of Tarek Saleh, 82 yards for a touchdown earlier. 12th play of the Utah drive. They got 2nd down and 10. Draw play. Johnson hit in the backfield, bounced off, and Saleh hangs with it.
And Lamar Campbell also, usually we see when we watch Big Ten football games a lot out at corner, but in this pass-happy game, you can see a little changeup that Wisconsin has made. They've moved him as a nickel back to the safety spot and brought Weems into that corner spot. That's a good changeup by Kevin Cosgrove, and one that has paid off dividends for this football team. He's done a nice job against the running game also.
3rd down at 7 with 7:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 31-3 Badgers. Remember, this drive started for Utah at its own 8-yard line after the Ron Dane fumble.
Let's see if they can find Keehan again.
Quick slant the other way and a 1st down. Rocky Henry in front of Jason Suttle. Oh, that's Utu. Excuse me, not Hendry. Donnie Utu. Greg Graves mixing it up to the wide receivers.
As you see Utah signaling this play, you'll see 3 guys signaling in the play. Now, usually you just use 2, but they must figure this Wisconsin staff is pretty smart.
Now
so we're going to go 3 of them. You don't know which one's the live guy.
Right, and we don't want to say that 2 of those guys are dummies, but that's kind of what. First down at the 22. Keehan on the move, toss sweep to Bacon. Nice collision at the 20, and he bounces his way to the 19. Jurowitz and Monty. Monty, the last guy off his back.
Pete Monty is another one of those true seniors that played in the Rose Bowl 4 years ago as a freshman and now finishes off his career here in a bowl game, and what a career he has had. Out of Fort Collins, Colorado.
Got a grandma that lives here in Arizona, so she had an easy trip. 6 tackles officially.
They've got that matchup again at the tight end, but I don't know if I want it again.
Well,
there it is.
They do. This time it's complete. Not a touchdown, but this time Christopherson holds. Good call, Gary.
Well, it's there, and I can see in the game planning, I mean, they really didn't tell us that they had this thing before the game, but when you watch it, it just pops out. And if you see it, the linebacker is very much inside. Lysick right here is showing run, run, run. Tight end just comes to the outside, and it's a fade to your tight end. A really interesting play. If you've got a good tight end right there, that's an easy throw. Had they completed that one early in this game, this would still be a football game because Fouts wouldn't have had to take those chances at the end of the half.
Now it's 1st and goal at the 3. Bacon. Still trying to get there. Forward progress got him to about the 1.5-yard line. Brian Flanagan.
Bacon is not crisp enough yet. They got to go one more. It's not done. Put it back in the oven. Keep it on the griddle. I like my bacon crisp.
Let's see what they can try up here on the 2nd and goal.
See, I think it's the guy that has his hat backwards is the live guy. See, 2 guys got it on frontward. Wouldn't that make, now the guy that's got it on backwards, that's who I'm going with, is the live guy. Right over here, I think that's it. He's got the hat on backwards. That makes sense?
He's got a clear shot at the
style. See, I think that's the guy right there.
2nd and goal. Bacon.
Nope.
Not quite.
Not yet. I think they got to use the microwave. This is just taking too long. You could get one of those things on TV, you know, where you just
we got one of those now.
I like that. Yeah. See, you just pop it in the microwave. It takes you a couple minutes.
That's right.
See, here they got to heat up the grill.
It's got its own drip pan and everything built right in.
Hasgo right now is, see, he doesn't need any dummies. No, I'm not going to go there.
Down to the 1-yard line, 3rd and goal. This is 2 down territory.
They'll use all 4 downs to try to score. They might need it.
Yep. Johnson in the backfield for Utah. Bacon joins him on the move. It's one to the end zone. Touchdown.
Tyler Pole that time did a nice job of blocking at the end man line of scrimmage and made it work. And that was an important drive. Following the turnover by Dane, Mike Fouts drove his team down there. You know, Brad, in the WAC, 21 points, that's nothing.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's, heck, 21, we're right in this thing.
92-yard drive after the fumble recovery, and Juan Johnson caps it from a yard out. Extra point coming up from Pulsifer. To cut it to 3 touchdowns, Wisconsin. He does with 4 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Impressive drive for Utah. Had several key 3rd down situations, and then on 3rd and goal, it was 1 to the end zone. The guy that came to our house didn't have a hard hat on, but nonetheless, happy holidays from Tucson. 31-10, finally a gift here for Utah.
Here's Tyler Pooley right there. He's going to come around to the outside and block Pete Monty. That's the key block that makes it go right from the outside. Watch as they snap the ball. There's the fit, and that allows the touchdown to the outside. Good job.
talking about key third down situations on that drive. Utah was 5 for 5 on third down to help take it 92 yards for the touchdown. Pulsifer's kick. Aaron Stecker camps under it at the 5. And Stecker only to about the 21, where Utah puts him down there. Wisconsin will have it on offense, and we'll see more of this guy when we come back after this timeout.
ESPN's presentation of the Copper Bowl is brought to you by Gillette Sensor XL and the Gillette Series. Gillette, the best a man can get.
That's a nice license plate. Geez, it's 70 above. It's about 27 below in Madison, probably. That's good. At the 21-yard line, first down, Wisconsin. Their lead's been cut to 21. Dane, oh, wow. Didn't get anything out of that. Armand Moglen made the head-to-head contact with him at the end of that play.
He broke a couple tackles there, but didn't gain big yards. But he has gained big yards in this football game by breaking tackles. 80 yards to be exact, and he's broken 16 tackles. Rushes over 7 yards. That was the goal. They've only held him to 4. But those 4 were for 25, 37, and 40. One of them was a touchdown.
He got about a yard there. Second down and 9. Is he on his way to the Copper Bowl record? Byron Hanspart set that when we were here last year. Up the middle this time, across the 25 to the 26. Got about 4 more. It'll be 3rd and 5. Nate Keane on the tackle.
How about when we talked to Ron McBride about the BYU game? We said, you know, Coach, you're going to face another team that's going to try to take it right at you. And he said, yes. And I watched the game film of that BYU game 3 straight days, 7 hours a day. And what I came to the conclusion of, our technique was poor. Our technique needs to be better. If we stand any chance, we have to play the defense right. Now,
they got a few guys healthy. That helped a little bit.
That's right. More healthy than they were against BYU, but he said these guys are better than BYU, so it's a wash. Boy, is this a big play.
Kevin Huntley comes in as the 3rd wideout. Remember, he's the starting defensive back to the bottom of the screen. Samuel looks back to him this way, but he throws instead to the 30 and a first down. Demetrius Brown. His second effort got him a first down.
Well, that's what I think is the key to this football game. When Wisconsin does a good job and beats good football teams, their quarterbacks make plays on 3rd down, because in a big game, you're going to get 3, 4, 5 of these plays where your quarterback has to pick up a first down. This time, to the outside, the ball is completed, and that was a big first down by Demetrius Brown as he broke 2 tackles to pick up the first down.
You know, as we always do, we dissect everything as we prepare for these games. We talk about, does Wisconsin need any passing yards to win? You and I came to the conclusion, probably not. They've got 16 in the game, and they're leading. And a big reason has been their defense and then number 33.
Well, I think that's true. I always think that you do. I mean, that's my argument. Maybe it's come from where I come from, being a passing-type football player. But if you can get 2 turns, you tell me I'm going to get a turnover for a touchdown and an interception at the end of the game that takes you down to the 12. No, you probably don't need to go a lot in that type of game.
Circumstances mean so much.
Absolutely.
Tonight, Wisconsin's only passed when they absolutely felt they had to, and really both times they've come up with first downs on the throws that have equaled 16 yards.
And that total yardage is so misleading because it doesn't show an 80-yard interception return.
Right. Dane up the middle across the 40 to the 41. Ron Dane can go 50 carries and still not be breathing extremely hard.
One of the techniques that a lot of the great running backs use is they do a 2-footed hop, almost like a basketball player, that they freeze a guy and then they hop. Dane hops, gets his feet spread wide, and he reads it. It's almost like you do a freeze move with an Allen Iverson type crossover. Watch it. Hop, go to the left, go to the right. Real nice, and all the great backs are able to come to a stop like that and then start up.
3rd down, a very long 2 here in the final minute, 3rd quarter. 4 out of 7 tonight on 3rd downs. Play action, here's the boot. Samuel might keep it again. He does. Lost the ball, but nobody there. And he picks up the first down at the 45-yard line. John Frank was the guy chasing him.
Another great call by Brad Childress that time. Everybody thought Dane was going to get it. He said, hey, I got a quarterback that can run the ball. He did it for a touchdown earlier in the game. This time, let my quarterback get out there with an option to throw or run. Gets to the outside and just gets across the line. Now, I don't see how he gets. They moved that ball forward on the fumble, and that's really what got him the first down on the play.
Out to the 45, in fact, across the 45. First down, Wisconsin.
2 key third down conversions on this drive.
And back to what they do best. Dane slipped on his own, or he might have gotten to that corner and got a big gainer. As it is, he got 5 yards before Utah could track him down. Let's check in with Adrian.
Brad, I can tell you right now, the Utah defense, actually the whole team here is obsessed with getting a turnover. On the previous play, you saw Samuel lose the ball. They're swiping at the ball when the Badgers carry it. They're almost overplaying the pass coverage now, trying to anticipate where he's going to throw the ball, breaking on it a little early. If they figure if they can get the ball back somehow, someplace on the field here before they get down inside the red zone, you know, they cut that lead down inside of 21. They got a ball game.
Wisconsin's only fumbled 8 times all year. One of them was Dane earlier in this half, but the third quarter's come to a close. And geez, it's 31-10. Fourth quarter coming up from Tucson after this. Tucson, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Adrian Karsten, 31-10, Wisconsin.
Hey, look at this. A little high side. Here's what these guys did. Hey, let's do this. Let's all wear the same shirts. We'll sit in a little high side right there. That'll get us on TV. Oh, come on. I don't want to wear the same shirts, Mom.
It actually said history's my favorite subject, but the other 7 sections gave up on him. Ron Dane, they're not giving up on him.
You start trying to tackle the football, bad things are going to happen when you got a 260-pound tailback.
32 more yards for Dane to open up the fourth quarter.
You know what's amazing about Dane is he runs that far, 260 pounds, this time right at the gut, taking it right up there. Even the cameraman couldn't find him. And he doesn't come out of the football game after a run like that. Just stays there. He's already over 200 yards, 229 yards on the game. Gee, that means that's a lot of yards.
That is. Here he goes again. Whoops, slipped on his own. Got about 5 as we check in with Adrian.
Guys, for the front 5, or actually front 6 when Gibby's in the game, Ron Dane took some of his Christmas money and had some T-shirts made. There's only 6 in the world of this. The point being these guys refuse to wear them underneath their pads and get them all sweaty and smelly. They think they're going to frame them. This is what they said in the front. O-line, my kind of guys. And he says he's got so much respect for them, but in reverse, they've got so much respect for him, as you pointed out earlier in the game, Brad. They think this guy is really special and would love to stay around the 50, or if they had it, just to be able to play with him more in the future.
Someday he's going to be buying his offensive line something a lot more expensive than T-shirts.
Rolexes, right?
Here he is on a delay, straight up the middle. Dane! Still on his feet. Down to the 1.
That time, he like caught the Dane train that time and then held on to the next stop.
Wow.
That was incredible. Ron Dane did not accelerate until he had to. Watch him with the patience this time. Ooh. Hold on. Lusk goes 200. Lawson, 167 pounds.
I got a feeling he's going to get it again. First and goal, Wisconsin, right there at the Utah 1-yard line. Close. What? And Utah comes out of the pile with a football. No touchdown. Blown dead just outside the goal line. First time he's been stopped for basically no gain tonight. Looks a little tired right now, or took a pretty good shot on that play. The thing Barry Alvarez was telling us is he says he never really gets hit that bad. He gives out the shot when he's carrying the football.
Yeah, he said he's almost like an offensive lineman running the football. This is the play they scored on. They'll run the play to the right. They'll follow right behind the player and then walk it into the end zone.
Nobody even near him. Third touchdown of the night for Dane.
Dane is going to lose lunch again on this one. He's a little upset. He got hit right in the stomach the play before, and he still didn't come out of the football game. I have tremendous respect for him. And if he can make it to the sideline, he'll be able to celebrate.
Give me a second, guys.
Yeah. Nice block again that time by Cecil Martin on the end line of scrimmage. The play he scored out to the left in the second quarter of the football game, they just flopped the formation and ran it to the right. Both plays worked.
John Hall in for the point after. Extra point is good. And again, with a head of steam and great blocking on that little play to the right side, it was the Dane Train again, his third touchdown of the night. Well, another Ron Dane powered drive by Wisconsin, and now they're out in front by 28 again. 12:31 left. Coming into the game, the two big fellas, Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala out after 4 carries with what could be a broken ankle. The other guy has held up his end of the bargain without a doubt. Ron Dane might be on his way to a Copper Bowl record and just scored his 3rd touchdown and has 246 yards on the night on 30 carries. Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week continues Sunday night. The Builders Square Alamo Bowl. Tim Dwight, Tavian Banks, and the Iowa Hawkeyes in San Antonio. They'll take on the number 2 rusher in the country, a guy whose record is about to fall here tonight, Byron Hanspard, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. That's Sunday night, 8 o'clock, and then Monday night, Plymouth Holiday Bowl from Jack Murphy Stadium, and Adrian McGeary and I will be out there to watch Colorado in action as they'll take on Washington. Fouts goes high, intended for Kevin Dyson and complete. Utah tied for 2nd in the WAC Mountain Division and came into this with high hopes. They've been to the Copper Bowl before. Coach McBride had his team here in '92, and they lost a 3-pointer in that one right down to the wire against Washington State. Tonight, Wisconsin got it rolling in their direction after the interception. What could have been a touchdown to the tight end ended up one play later being an 82-yard interception for Wisconsin. And that's kind of the tide that's turned this game. Keehan with the completion on the first down. 13-yard pickup.
Well, when we talked to Ron McBride yesterday, he knew that this football game was a game that whoever was the most physical was going to win it. And he said, you know, I can preach to our guys what physical means, but I think they're going to get a lesson in what physical means in this game. I think he felt his team could match up, but he said, you know, talk sometimes is hard to understand. They're going to find out what it really means, what I've really been telling them, how they have to play with the big boys.
Stops running, throws on the run, wide out screen again. Rocky Henry trying to weave his way for some yardage, and does, out to the 38-yard line. Mike Fouts, 3 interceptions tonight. He's had huge games this year, though, against Kansas, 476 yards and 4 touchdowns. We had that game for you on ESPN2, and that was as thrilling a game as we've probably seen all year. Fresno State, he told me yesterday when we talked to him, I said, you know, what game did you really feel on? He said, Fresno State didn't seem like I could do anything wrong. So he has good streaks tonight. I'm afraid the streaks have been on the negative side with some of the passes thrown. Here comes a blitz on it.
Got the tight end again.
And a catch. Shoestring catch by Christopherson.
That was a busted coverage that time by Wisconsin.
First down, Utah, as we check in with Adrian.
Well, a disappointing night for Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala, but there's a bright side to this, guys. He has made it back from St. Mary's Hospital here in Tucson without a broken ankle.
Good.
Very severe sprain. They took a look at the x-rays. He's here on the sideline, wanted to get back here as quickly as they could. Only 4 carries tonight, but he's back here doing the best he can to keep his guys fired up.
And when he gets back home, that may hamper his surfing just a bit, I would assume. Wants to get back home. He says he's so homesick for Hawaii. He'll get a little break to get there after the game. Bounce straight down the middle here.
That's where they need to throw the football, in the middle of that zone. 2 deep safeties, and Keehan is having a big football game. right in between Adamov and Huntley. You'll see Keehan just streak down to the middle right there. And there's the hole in the defense. And the ball is delivered so sharply right between the linebackers that no one has time to adjust. That's what you have to do to zones. You have to throw the ball just as the receiver is passing between the linebackers to the secondary, force them into man-to-man coverage, and then pick them and screen them and do all the things you like to do.
First down to the Wisconsin 25. Got plenty of time. Dyson coming back the other way.
And Daryl Carter made him pay for that 5-yard catch right there.
No doubt about that.
And when you have a big lead like Wisconsin does, what you're saying is, we'll let you move the chains. We'll let you make yards throwing the football.
You're taking time doing it.
We're not going to let you do it quickly. You know, people say there's no room for a prevent defense in football. They're wrong. You have to have a prevent defense and make teams go the long way occasionally for situations just like this.
Second down and 4 as we worked our way under the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Bounce for his tight end. Incomplete.
See, that time Lysick was playing pass. He was not even thinking run on that time to the outside, and it was a much tougher throw. Ball to the outside. Lysick is in position and forces one of those plays. It was almost a one-hander, but we saw earlier that ball is going to have to be a little more often. Christopherson has made some good catches, and one, unfortunately, he missed early, but he's made some good catches since then. Third down, obviously 4-down territory.
Right. At the 20. Henry, Dyson, Keehan, 3 wideouts.
He needs to hurry up. He's only got a few seconds left on a 25-second clock.
This time they... Nice catch by Baker.
I think he double caught it, and then he fumbled it, and they're going to give it to him.
This time they kind of ran the play as if they were going to throw that wide out screen and then let that clear out through the running back.
One of those variations, you know, you say as a coach, you say, I got that wide out screen, and then you look on film and say, hey, what if on this wide out screen we don't throw it to him, we just throw it to the outside, make the catch, and could have turned up into the big play, but Omar Bacon bobbled it, and that was really a questionable. That's one of those 28-point calls that you get.
Yeah.
Up by 28, anything close.
Fourth down anyway. Long 2 left for Utah.
And I'm sure Wisconsin will come at it. They do.
Here they come. Bounce. Incomplete. Broken up by Leonard Taylor. Keehan, the intended receiver. And the Badgers take over on down.
Yeah, for Wisconsin, their secondary, pass, they were 11th in the Big Ten this year, but they've got a lot of their secondary back next year. They feel good about it.
8:52 left, and Wisconsin on offense when we come back.
Timeout on the field.
Game, Ron Dayne on the sideline. His night may be done, so maybe he won't have the Copper Bowl record for rushing. That might be safe for Byron Hansbrough. Here's Carl McCullough, who in his own right was a 1,000-yard rusher last year before the freshman sensation came along. The Big Ten says this indeed is a single-season record now, having passed Lorenzo White of Michigan State.
And a lot of Wisconsin watchers are saying, what if Ron Dayne would have started off the year as the starter? It wasn't even until the 5th game of the year, basically, but the real reason he isn't, because of a guy by the name of Carl McCullough. Right. He was a returner, 1,000-yard rusher, and Barry Alvarez said, he's the guy until you show that you're significantly better, we'll rotate you both, and I think that's good. That says a lot to his teammates that I want to stick with you if you've earned your position.
Remember, McCullough had to wait his turn behind Brent Moss and Terrell Fletcher, the previous 2,000-yard-plus gainers. Then McCullough had over 1,000 last year, Dayne this year. And with that, Wisconsin became the first Big Ten team ever to have 4 straight 1,000-yard-plus guys that were all different running backs.
Yeah, that's quite a record, and that shows the commitment that this team has had to running the football with different styles back there. And I think that says a lot about what really this coaching staff has done at Wisconsin, turned a program that, really hadn't done a lot for a lot of years into a consistent bowl team.
They did some research and sort of prorated, had Dayne been the starter and averaged the amount of carries that he's averaged since he's become the starter at the beginning of the year. And they had it figured out that he would have ended up, all things being healthy, with over 2,500 yards coming into this game, which would have smashed what Troy Davis did at Iowa State. He'd be up to 27.5 half, almost 2,800 yards on the year with what he's done tonight, which has been 246 yards on 30 carries.
And we've seen tonight that he did to Utah just what he did to the Big Ten. He made people miss. He made big, tough yards. He made people punish and tackles. He did everything that a tailback does. And bad news for the Big Ten.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He's got 3 more years, should he desire to do it for 3 more years.
You know what we might have seen tonight, Gary, too, is a preview of the Heisman hype to begin for 97. How can you not say that?
Oh, he's definitely one to watch. And if you're one to watch, coming out of the Big Ten, you're going to be, that's enough right there, because you're in USA Today every day. There's going to be the Dane watch, how many yards he got. You don't have to mail out a lot of postcards.
Carl McCullough, who has a year of eligibility left if he so chooses, has given some thought to whether or not he wants to try the pro ranks. And he's going to sit down with Coach Alvarez after the season. They're going to try to look at what the NFL people think of it.
As you look at the 4 rushers right there, Carl McCullough did it, of course, last year in 1995. You know, Moss and Fletcher, 2 good running backs right there. But I think another option that Carl McCullough should look at is 1AA football. I mean, we just saw Randy Moss and Kressler do it a week ago at Marshall. I mean, that's good football to, you know, give him an opportunity to run and show the pros what he can do.
Samuel on the bootleg throws incomplete. And that might be another option they talk about. And Carl comes off. Nice thing, Pete Molly was voted the most valuable player by his Wisconsin teammates. And when he got up for his acceptance speech, he picked out this guy as a guy that he said was a main ingredient of this Wisconsin team that put together now another bowl game and what is soon to be another bowl win. That just shows the class of Pete Molly.
Absolutely. I think that's the best thing you can say, and that shows a lot about Carl McCullough, too, not sulking and being, you know, he was a team player when he knew that there were other guys on the team.
Fair catch taken at the 24-yard line. A 40-yard kick by Hall. No return. Will return, though, with 5:46 to go. .46 remaining. Wisconsin leads 38-10. Utah has it back from its own 24-yard line. Play action for Fouts, who wants to go back with a screen the other way to the tight end, and that one's blown up. Nice play defensively by Pete Diatalevi, who's made a few tonight, including an interception earlier in the ball game. Coming up New Year's Day on ABC Sports, it's the Rose Bowl. 4:30 Eastern from Pasadena, Arizona State. They're still the talk of this state against Ohio State from the Big Ten. That's at 4:30. Still a shot at a national championship for Jake the Snake Plummer and his Arizona State club. That's New Year's Day on ABC Sports, the granddaddy of them all. 2nd down and 15. As the pass was complete, but they lost 5 yards. And they whistle this one dead before it can get started. Sala gives Fouts a little shove just to let him know he was in the vicinity.
One of the wide receivers to the bottom of the screen was in motion. They're going to get a legal procedure for Utah.
Very few penalties, only the 3rd of the game.
Ball, false start, number 18 of the offense. The down remains the same.
Let's check in with Adrian.
Brad, it was during another Badger Bowl season, I think the one with Roses, when this combination came of age. Darrell Bevell to tight end Mike Rohn. Remember inside the red zone, they scored I don't know how many touchdowns. Offense has changed a little bit for Wisconsin. Darrell, since you were playing here, Mike doesn't have to throw the ball anymore when you got that big man in the backfield.
Well, I had a couple good backs with me and Terrell Fletcher and Brett Moss, but this kid out there is amazing. I mean, to watch some of the things that he's done, I mean, it's, you know, he's a very special player.
Brad, more in a moment here.
Fouts goes and a nice grab out to the 35, and Keehan's become his favorite receiver tonight. Let's go back down on the field.
Darrell, not a bad throw there, but as we pointed out, Mike didn't have to do that because Ron has run so well. Mike, did you ever see a man the size of Aaron Gibson playing tight end sometimes?
No, I didn't. I stretched that 81 jersey out a little bit since I was here, I guess. But, he's 400 plus, and he's a big man.
It's fun to see the Badgers back in the bowl. Mike, congratulations on your season with the Houston Oilers. And Darrell, you're now coaching with the quarterbacks at Iowa State. Congratulations to you both. And thanks for taking the time.
Sure. Okay, all right, good to see a couple of old Badgers, and in Ben's case, we mean really old. Father now, a new 2.5-month-old baby who's at the game tonight. Here's Keehan, the intended receiver, incomplete. You know, Gary and I have come up with an idea that we're going to have to probably go to the NCAA with. Then we'll have to patent, because we feel that because he plays both tight end and tackle.
Yeah, let me help you here.
Yeah,
we could go 789.
And then have a flap on each side.
Then you could just cover up one side right here and say, okay, he's 89, and then cover up the other side over there, and he's 78. So.
And then he doesn't have to change jerseys all the time.
See? I was interested about the kid from Purdue who came up to Barry Alvarez before the game and said, isn't there some kind of rule that you can't
weight limit?
Yeah, weight limit. I mean, if you're a wide receiver, you can't weigh that much. I don't think.
Barry said it's the greatest line he's ever heard. Somebody said, isn't there a weight limit for tight ends? And here's Juan Johnson into the secondary. Gets inside the 45, down to the 44. Weems finally brought him down, but Juan Johnson gets his longest run of the night, 20-yarder.
1 sack in this football game, and again, that offensive line has been able, because of the spread-out situation, to do a good job turning people around. Todd Jackson that time did a good job of creating room for Johnson to get into the secondary and make yards. It has not been the offense, except for the turnovers, that has been the problem. They just, like a lot of teams in the Big Ten, a lot of people that have faced this Wisconsin team, haven't been able to slow down the run.
At the 43-yard line. First down, Utah on the final 4 minutes of the Copper Bowl from Arizona Stadium in Tucson. And what has been a pleasant trip again. Folks treat these teams well, and us as well. Almost intercepted off the deflection. That would have been Weems' second of the night. And the weather's been beautiful here since we've been here.
Utah was in a legal formation that time, not enough men on the line of scrimmage, so Wisconsin's going to have the ability to move back should they declare.
Just when we say we've been almost penalty-free, we get a couple on this drive.
You know, I've really been impressed with the way Utah has continued to play in this football game. A lot of times in these bowl games, you know, the players towards the end of the game saying, well, you know, there's not going to be any film situation tomorrow. Why don't we do this? There's no chance. Let's just cash it in. We've got a big party after the game. We've had a lot of fun.
The legal formation on the offense, only a 6-man line. 1st and 15.
Let's just have some fun. But Utah has continued to play hard, and I think they understand that they're playing, as you look at the total yards, not only this game, but for the pride of their conference as they finish off this game.
That's a credit to Ron McBride, the second winningest coach in Utah history.
And he also feels he'll have a good football team next year. He says we got a lot of people coming back. We got 2 young quarterbacks, and we got this guy right here coming back, and he'll be healthy.
He'll be a junior next year. Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala. We asked Chris what he has to do in the offseason to get better. He says, I just got to work harder. I got to worry about my weight. And the great line, you said, what's the hardest part of working out for you?
He said, just getting up in the morning.
Bounce wants to go deep. Had to throw off his back foot. And it's intercepted, but you know what? There was contact down at the 5-yard line by Weems, and I think they're going to get a gift here and a penalty.
Yeah, they will. It'll be a 15-yard penalty in college football, so it's not going to be spotted at the 4 or 5-yard line. But into that play, it was thrown very, very late, and that time, Tarek Saleh was again putting the pressure on Fouts. But watch how this ball is thrown way, way, way late. Weems is on Rocky Henry, and then coming across, Bobby Myers gets the interception, but it won't count.
Tarek Saleh, there's the shot he gave Fouts.
Defensive pass interference against number 7. Penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that'll give Utah the first down with 3:51 remaining. Walk it off from the line of scrimmage. Tarek Saleh tonight, Gary, 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. That pass defended the tip pass that turned into an interception for a touchdown and a blocked field goal. Not a bad outing for 42, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of NFL rules, that ball would have been on the floor. We got an NFL player from Utah also at this game. On the left, that's Luther Ellis, Detroit Lion #1 draft pick. And that team just changed coaches. And Luther's going to be playing for a new man next year. Really came on his second year. Boy, you remember the bowl game he had here in the Copper when they played Washington State and Drew Bledsoe.
I don't think he'd probably want any part of Ron Dane in that either.
He said, this isn't bad standing on the sideline.
Here's a little delay to Juan Johnson. Tom Burke's got him wrapped up. Saleh helps him out.
Yeah, and so did Daryl Carter that time make that play bounce to the outside.
Tarek Saleh, part of that with Tom Burke. We talked about Saleh tonight. A little bit of everything for Tarek. The tip pass that Weems took 82 yards the other way. Now here's the field goal attempt to end the second quarter. Boom, he knocks that one down. And one of the several tackles he's been involved with tonight. And with one tackle for loss, he's now tied Mike Thompson in the Wisconsin record books in that category. Already the sack record holder for the Badgers. Here's Dyson. Slips past his man. Gets inside the 20.
Dyson really has quick feet. He's tall, 6'3", 200-pounder, and really anticipates the catch and moves his feet. But, you know, catching the balls for short yardage at this stage of the game, you're going to get a lot of stats, but it really doesn't mean much. When Utah had to make the plays, they couldn't make them in the first half.
They spell just like I do.
Well, you get on TV.
That's right. Whatever works.
Creative, right?
Dyson, 6 catches for Kevin tonight for 95 yards. He was a first-team all-WAC performer. And Juan Johnson gets 4. Carter and Monty. And on the stop, Pete Monty, he's closing in on the all-time tackle marks of, I think he is now past Crumry, and Casper still in his sights depending on how long this 2:28 takes.
Pete Monty's saying, come on, run the ball.
Yeah, couple inside, and I'm going to catch Casper.
Maybe they should get in the huddle right now and say, hey, guys, funnel it to me. You know, just let me make the tackle.
Right now, he needs 1 to tie Gary Casper, 2 to break his Wisconsin tackle record. Gary's watching this thing someplace going, throw the ball, throw the ball. And they will. Fouts. That's picked off at the goal line by Jason Suttle. 4th interception of the night, and Suttle's still on his feet.
You know, this one, you really, it's a bad throw, but at this stage of the game, you got to try to do things, and you're sticking it in there. One earlier at the end of the half, I think that was the poorest throw of the day, but right now, Mike Fouts was saying, I want to make a touchdown on a play he had no business throwing a touchdown pass.
1:54 remaining in the ball game. All Wisconsin, and they'll have it when we come back. It was a late Christmas present or an early 50th birthday present, which is coming up in a couple of days for that guy. But Barry Alvarez' team about to win a bowl game 38-10. He got a lot of help from his freshman sensation. He said, you know, Ron was carrying this package around on the bus in Madison, on the plane. Somebody almost sat on it. And then he carried it around like it was a piece of china when we got to Tucson. He said, finally, my wife Cindy had to say, Ron, what is in the box? He says, oh, it's a Christmas present for the coach. He said he could have given it to me in Wisconsin.
It was an autographed picture of Ron Dane. Nice gift. Nice token.
And tonight he goes for a near Copper Bowl record. And, of course, Dane will be back for the Badgers next year, and he'll be the early Heisman hype. And you look at Wisconsin's schedule, Gary.
Well, I like this schedule. I'll tell you that. They start off with 3 games that they can win, obviously. They're playing, I think, inferior talent. And then they have nice home games. And also,
consider who they don't play.
And also who they don't play. They don't play Michigan State and Ohio State, 2 of the most physical football teams. They get Michigan back on their schedule, but they start out pretty nicely and then pick up steam at the end when they finish off with Iowa, Michigan, and Penn State. And I think it bodes well.
Here's the other guy I think you're going to see more of in the preseason next year if you're a Badger fan. I think the competition at quarterback. Mike Samuel played well tonight.
Yes.
And he's done what they asked him to do after he took over for Darrell Bevell, who, of course, graduated. But Scott Kavanaugh, who's in there playing quarterback right now, I don't think it's a big secret that he and Samuel will be in the battle for the starting quarterback job next year.
And if they get any better, you know, I'm sure Samuel will improve, and Kavanaugh has a good arm. If they get any better throwing the ball, they get Tony Simmons back, their speed receiver. They could be dangerous on offense. Of course, they'll have to replace 4 senior offensive linemen.
Scott Kavanaugh, the younger brother of the Kansas State starter, Brian Kavanaugh, who we saw a lot of last year in the bowl game. Here's Aaron Stecker.
And I think it's a real tribute to the guys that signed up with Barry, you know, 4 years ago now, guys like Wunsch and Sala and Monty that have stuck Jurowitz, Castro. I mean, these are guys that came to Wisconsin that believed in Barry Alvarez, and it has paid off as they've gone to a Rose Bowl at freshman and then finish off their career with a victory here in the Copper Bowl.
Wisconsin only won one bowl game in its history before Barry Alvarez's arrival, and this is his third win now, as he's won the Rose, the Hall of Fame, and soon to be the Copper Bowl here in the next 36 seconds.
You know, and I think you never know really a lot about yourself until you get to a critical point in your career. Everything was really running smoothly for Barry. He had a real tough 4-game stretch when they had the disaster against Northwestern. They survived it, and I think they're going to be better in the long run because of it.
They definitely banded together and played hard down the stretch to go 4-1 to get the bowl game, and tonight getting ready to win it here in the final moments. Sports Center's about a half minute away.
This has not been a great night for Utah, but they've seen what the big boys play like physically, and it has not been. I think the other loser in this game has been the WAC Conference. The 7th place team in the Big Ten just dusted off the 3rd best team, or the 2nd best team in the WAC. And Coach Alvarez just got a bath. He's going to have another 8-win season. Only 3 Wisconsin teams before tonight had ever won 8. Back in '62, the '93 and '94 clubs, and now the '96 edition gets its 8th victory of the season here in the Copper Bowl by a final margin of 38-10. Coming up next, Sports Center with a full wrap-up of all the day's events and activities. Right now, for Gary Danielson and Adrian Karsten and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Tucson. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Our congratulations to Wisconsin, the 1996 Copper Bowl champions.